runs, the target for South Australia at 5.62 per over. Sounds like a tough task, and it is, but it's certainly not impossible at this ground. Might be very, very difficult at some other grounds, but if you play well here at the WACA, the runs can come very quickly, and it can be difficult for bowlers to stop good batsmen once they're set and once the field's spread a bit here at the WACA. Bruce Reid from the members' end. He's bowling to Darren Lehmann. As Richie said, it's nice to see Bruce Reid back in the side. Bruce Yardley, what's been his progress recently?
Well, his problems over the last 12 months haven't really been his back. His back's okay now. He had shoulder problems last summer, and then earlier on this summer he finished up with a thigh strain. So he's been struggling in a few different areas. But you wouldn't mind having him in your team if he's fit. He just makes it look so easy. And let's hope for his sake and Western Australia and cricket's sake, because he's such a wonderful bowler to watch. He just seems to make it look so easy, just lopes in, and has got the ability to swing the ball in the air and move it off the seam. He's got a beautiful breeze, sort of drifted in from the southeast. It's heading more easterly at the moment, so it should assist him to take the ball away from the left-handed Lehmann.
Lehmann eventually gets one between Langer and Julian. Lehmann off the mark. South Australia away in their chase for 281.
And it's very, very important that they can restrict him, the flow of his bat, Darren Lehmann, because he loves to get a good swing of the bat, a free swing of the bat at the ball. We saw Paul Rifle knock him over in Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. He's tied him up just on an outside off stump. You cannot afford to stray onto his legs at all.
And gone. Taken by Adam Gilchrist, so Bruce Reid has struck early, and it's a good one for Western Australia.
How wonderful for Bruce Reid and for the Western Australians. I've always figured that if someone can bowl, take the ball away from the left-handed Lehmann, you've got a chance of getting him out. That was actually wide. He should have gone with the swing and tried to hit it through the onside, but he was looking to hit straight down the ground, and he paid the penalty. What a breakthrough. Man of the series is gone, Darren Lehmann. He's out for 2. Caught Gilchrist. It's 1 for 2.
Change in the batting order. It's Darren Webber at number 3. South Australia is fiddling with the batting order here at the WACA. Comes into face Bruce Reid. Bruce Reid making a terrific start or return to one-day interstate cricket, picking up the wicket of Darren Lehmann.
Yeah, he's taken it away. He's used that southeasterly breeze, just swung it away a fraction. Good catch by Adam Gilchrist. And he's wrapped the big chook. He's affectionately known. Good catch.
Success there for Bruce Reid. South Australia 1 for 2. Craig Coulson is going to be the opening bowler at the river end, with Bruce Reid having got the breakthrough down the members end. Nobes will be on strike. Just a short run for Craig Coulson. Has 2 slips, the long and the short in the slips. And Nobes off the mark from the first delivery, full toss.
Yes, I think that the West Australians would have had a chat about Paul Nobes before they came out. I think the bowlers would have been instructed not to give him anything short here on the WACA, or anywhere he plays. He just sweats on the ball being short, and he punishes it square of the wicket. So the first ball from Coulson, who is a prodigious outswing bowler in club cricket, but in first-class cricket we've seen him just lock up a little. He's got the perfect conditions. Darren Webber's on strike. He's got a job ahead of him. Really consolidate here, but keep the scoring going.
Caught, beautifully caught at second slip. Justin Langer, he's the short of it. Next to him, in fact, it's Michael Valletta at second slip. Tom Moody, the tall man, at first slip. So Coulson was added to the Reid breakthrough. Western Australia well and truly on top.
This is a very, very good catch, because it's, I think it's pitched round about leg stump. He was going to work this to the onside, and it just swung late. And Mike Valletta loves it there in the slips. He just wants everything to come his way. He's always ready for a catch. He takes some speckies there. So a duck for Darren Webber. Sad tale for South Australia. 2 for 5.
That's a wide. First up to the South Australian skipper, Jamie Siddons. Craig Coulson has got the outswinger going on that occasion, but it's gone too far. He had it just right the previous delivery, getting rid of Darren Webber with a good one pitched around middle and leg. The batsman looking to hit the ball on the onside. Siddons off the mark. Darren Webber really not very watchful when you're looking to hit on the onside with an outswing bowler coming against you. It's not an easy shot to play against the new ball. Well taken by Michael Valletta.
Yes, the perfect line we see. Look at that for a great catch. Send off the back of the bat. We see a lot of the outswing bowlers here in Perth. They can start the ball wide of the off stump and have it go further, but to actually start at about middle and leg, you just close the face too early then, and a great catch. Start at middle and leg and take it away. That's when you'll pick up your wickets here at the WACA. Great catch, Michael Valletta.
There's the square drive from Nobes. South Australia 2 for 10 after 2. Australia 2 for 11 after 2 overs. Lehman out for 2. And Webber out for a duck.
Sorry sight. Lehman for 2. Webber for a duck. Nobe 7 from 3. And Siddons 1. He's only just faced the 2 deliveries. Western Australia, tremendous first innings for them. Lavender was run out for 80 after a partnership of 100 with Damien Martin. They led it for 16. Martin 114 not out from 112. Justin Langer 24. Tom Moody 12 from 11. And Adam Gilchrist did a good job, 21 from 17. So 4 for 280. Winning score.
Jamie Siddons has decided to take the attack to Bruce Reid. Fourth man is out there, Jamie Stewart. So it looks as though Valletta may have done something to his finger in taking that good catch. He's off the field now. Damien Martin has gone to first slip. Tom Moody is at second slip.
Siddons has given it the big charge here. I think he's just decided that there's not much sense hanging around, just pushing and prodding the moving ball. Times he's batted well here in Perth. He's really attacked the Western Australian attack.
That's beautifully bowled.
The chook's back. That's what's wonderful about Bruce Reid. Nothing seems to bother him. Look at that for a beautiful delivery. Missed everything. He got the charge of the ball before. And he just runs in and bowls the perfect in-swinger. Paul Nobes is in aggressive mood. He's got 7 from 3 deliveries so far. Full toss for 3. Square drive for 4. Pretty hard man to attack though, Bruce Reid. Swinging the ball like this. Yep.
That's well run. 2 for 4, 2 for 15 after 3. Again, Coulson starting that outswing around about leg stump, causing Nobes some problems, although Nobes was wary in trying to hit the ball through the onside, realising that Webber had got out in the previous over from Coulson in exactly that manner.
For 17, Craig Coulson against New South Wales off 10. That was a great performance. This is Tasmania 2 for 39, another good one off 10. Last week 1 for 41 from 10. He's got 1 for 9 so far today. The West Australians quite aware that Nobes likes to hit the ball square on the offside, loves the square cut and the square drive, and they've done away with a normal gully position. They've got the 2 slips, and as you come around to your left, you've got Brendan Julian at deep backward point, and you've got Justin Langer pretty well square at point, just in front.
hesitation there before they went through for the single. Wayne Andrews fielding in that position at square leg.
Wayne Andrews would be pretty happy to be back in the team. 900 runs in club cricket so far this summer, at average of 90. That's why he's back.
Siddons really going on the attack, trying to take advantage of the first 15 overs and the field restrictions.
Well, he's not going to muck around, is he? Just a shrug of the shoulders. Well, why not? He's just followed the outswing and hit it over cover.
It's 2 for 20 after 4. Mike Belletta back on the field now with his, looks like 2 fingers bandaged together there on the right hand. Looks like last 2 fingers there on the right hand bandaged together. That actually suggests that one of 2 things. He's either split the webbing, which is probably the most likely, or he's dislocated the finger, but I'd say the splitting of the webbing is more likely. That's the reason why they're taped together. This is how he did it in taking a brilliant diving catch to his right. Seemed to get it right in the middle. It's very difficult to work out how he would split the webbing, but I'd say that's probably what's happened. They're taped together so that there's no further splitting.
He's one of the best I've seen in the slips cordon, Mike Belletta. Not a bad wicketkeeper either. He enjoys keeping. And Tim Zura was doing a bit of leg spin bowling a couple of years ago. He did a good job as a keeper, but he's dislocated the ring finger on his right hand, so that's why the 2 fingers are taped together.
Well, that means it didn't quite go in the middle. It looked from those replays as though it went right in the middle, but must have just got one of the top knuckles there, I'd say. Perhaps got it up a little bit high. Certainly, in looking at the replays, it didn't look as though he would do any damage because he seemed to take it very cleanly. Usually it's one of 2 things when you've got the fingers taped together, either the dislocation or the split webbing. This is going to be interesting to see how Bruce Reid reacts to Jamie Siddons' approach here. Batsman is certainly declaring his intentions. Reid's got to make a decision on what he's going to do.
Only time will tell whether he's the right tactics or not. He's giving himself room there and hit over cover again. And when a batsman's giving himself room, you're better off if you can just bowl Yorkers at about middle leg stump. That's about all he can do. As everybody knows, it's another thing trying to bowl Yorkers. Getting them right into the block hole is not so easy. We were asked Joel Garner once, how come he could bowl so many Yorkers? He bowled them at will. He said, man, he said, I just aim at the bails. And that's my Yorker length. It's pretty simple, isn't it?
He bowled him to me as well. 2 for 25 after 5. That's when Nobes likes them. Anything that he can pull a cut, he loves. Wilson's got any sense where he doesn't have any say and he's going to roll away into the boundary anyhow. It's a very nicely timed shot.
Yeah, just a bit too short from Coulson, and Nobes loves them short. Just stands and delivers. Just a bit of a pivot off the back foot there. Beautiful pull shot. Too short. Good on them, the South Australians. There's not much sense if you're 2 for 5. There's not much sense just hanging around and hoping. They're going to try and make it happen. In the Shield, the first Shield match they played here in Perth this summer, they came over and attacked Western Australia from all angles, and it's the first time I've seen South Australia do it. And they beat West Australia outright easily. So maybe, you never know, they might just pull it off. They still require 252 at a run rate of 5.6. Oh. .43 against New South Wales off 72. He gets them pretty well, doesn't he? 64 not out off 107 deliveries. A duck, an 8 and an 8. So not too good, but he's 16 not out today. The only times I've seen visiting teams really knocked over cheaply here in Perth is when they do push and prod outside off stump with the ball going away. Go with the swing and hit with the swing if you're going to get after them.
Exactly what Nobes does on this occasion. And Andrews out the third man.
And that is the secret to batting on the WACA. Too many players play straight down the line and the ball's swinging away and get the outside edge. You've got to go with the swing. If it's going away from you, you've got to hit it just a fraction squarer.
It's 2 for 30. South Australia have certainly attacked from the outset. They've got it up to 5 runs per over, but they've lost 2 wickets in doing it. Nobes is on 17, Siddons on 10. Lehman out for 2, Webber for a duck. South Australia looking for 281 for victory. That's what's required for a spot in the final at the MCG against Victoria. Bruce Reid now coming around the wicket. Well, that's his answer to certainly to Nobes' tactics. Be interested to see if he still stays around the wicket for Siddons.
Yeah, Siddons has got the ability to play all around the wicket. So if he comes around the wicket to Siddons maybe and strays into his pads, he's got the ability to whip him over mid-wicket and through the onside. But with Nobes, they've got to keep the ball pitched well up to him and cramp his style. They can't afford to give him any room at all.
Not quite timed, but he hit it into the gap. That was the important thing.
Well played. He's picked the gap. They've got a pretty good attack, Western Australia. Look, Coulson and Reid have opened the bowling. Brendan Julian, who some people here in the West feels a bit unlucky not to go to the West Indies. Paul Rifle got the nod. He's to come. Sean Carey, more than useful outswing bowler, and Tom Moody has bowled beautifully in one-day cricket over the last few years.
Siddons sends him back.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite get a good throw away here, Justin Langer. Good bit of feeling, attacking the ball. But he's had to underarm back across his body. Really got nothing going for him there. Missed by a fair way. So there's the West Australians. Wonderful top order. Wayne Andrews didn't get a hit. Tom Moody and Adam Gilchrist came in when the run chasers on in the first innings. They're the bowlers. Bruce Reid at the moment, Craig Coulson, Sean Carey, Brendan Julian, Tom Moody. Wayne Andrews can bowl a bit of left arm orthodox needed.
It's good over from Bruce Reid. It's 2 for 32. Paul Nobes just mistiming that last delivery from Bruce Reid. And just away from the gully. Brendan Julian, this big man there in the gully, he leapt but couldn't quite get a hand on it.
It was a cracking shot, wasn't it? Just a fraction too short again from Coulson. Yeah, he just got a finger to that. Would have nearly taken it off, mind you. That was really humming. So maybe he should give himself another couple of metres there at gully. When you're feeling the gully, you can tend to creep forward a little if the blokes are pushing forward, trying to angle the ball down through the third man. You can usually come in a bit shorter. But Jamie Siddons is after him. He's not going to muck around. If he hits it, he's going to hit it hard. So maybe give himself another metre or two. Julian?
Nicely timed. And a good save there. And off.
Mark Lavender. Had a great season with the bat so far. He's also a very good athlete.
That's hit a long way. That's 6.
Now that is a wonderful shot. It's pretty exciting stuff. And Coulson, who's reasonably predictable, he bowls medium pace, medium fast outswingers. That is a magnificent 6 over extra cover.
That'll get away to the boundary as well. Didn't hit it in the middle, but his timing is very good. The ball really flies off that bat.
Well, he picks it up. See, the wrists are cocked and the toe of the bat's up above the head. Always coming down onto the ball. Even though it appeared to be a thick inside edge of the bat, it went for 4 easily.
That's pretty well bowled, actually, by Coulson. 14 runs off the over. It's 2 for 46. For 46, South Australia racing along after 8 overs. It'll be Bruce Reid to continue. Paul Nobes on strike. That's beaten third man. Third man now, he should be hung, drawn and quartered. He's in about 20 metres. Sean Carey is the man down there. The captain won't be thrilled with him at all. In fact, the captain is standing with hands on hips. Sean Carey's lucky that's all he's doing. Martin's now got the hands off the hips, but he hasn't actually told. In fact, he's now just given the signal to Carey. Yeah, get back on the fence when you're at third man. Good idea. In the commentary position now, Bill Laurie and Tony Gregg.
Thank you, Ian Chappell. It's a big assignment here for South Australia, but they've got the right idea after losing 2 wickets. They were 2 for 5. They've hit back hard, Siddons and Nobes. It's now 2 for 50 in the 9th over, so the run rate's up there. In fact, they're running at 6 per over, but they've lost 2 wickets. Certainly, Siddons hitting the ball over the top, and Nobes is always going to play shots. And they have a red hot go here. And that's what you need to do, break up the line of the length of the bowlers. And on this bouncy pitch, you get full value for your shots. Good afternoon, Tony Gregg.
Afternoon, Bill. Yes, next Sunday, the Vicks are playing in the finals. That match is being played in Melbourne, and the winner here will be the opposition. Question is, who do you fancy, Bill?
Well, you have to fancy Western Australia at the moment in this game, scoring 280. But while Nobes and Siddons are there, both very good hitters of the ball. And Brayshaw's in good form this summer. South Australia will certainly press hard here, but certainly with 280 and having South Australia at 2 for 5. Next Sunday they'll challenge Victoria, unbeaten so far in this series in the preliminary rounds. And 10 points after 5, they'll be very confident, but both these teams here also very capable and well balanced. That's the match. 5th of March at the MCG, Mercantile Mutual Cup for 94-95. Yeah. Paul Nobes here is a great example to everybody. He's not a natural athlete. He's a slow mover, but he's got a tremendous eye and really is prepared to hit the ball hard. To throw up, he'll drive through the offside. If he drops short, he'll pull or cut with tremendous power. And his strike rate there is 57.5, but a very dangerous player. At 86 against Queensland when playing for Victoria at the Carlton Cricket Ground. His highest score. Siddons is on strike and Damien Martin taking the man from fine leg and putting the man down at deep cover. So Siddons has forced that move, the man there going back. Deep cover, that's the one he's been hitting over the infield. So the fine leg is inside the circle. So Martin taking his time, he's moving that man now a little bit straighter. They can't quite make up their mind. He's going to a long off position now. So there's a slip, short cover, 2 points, backward and a man on point. A third man for Reid when bowling to Jamie Siddons. Jamie Siddons always a bit dice when it's a fraction short, plays and misses. 2 for 51. Nine overs, South Australia away to a flyer. They're 2 for 51. Coulson continues from the river end. He's going to Nobes on 24. Lavender does well, backing up from the mid-off position. This is such a good pitch. If you hit through the line and you've got a good eye, you can score a lot of runs.
I suppose you would be hoping that South Australia continue along these lines. I suppose the Vicks would prefer to play them.
I think Dean Jones and his team in the one-day game at the moment would play anybody with confidence, but both these teams have depth in certain areas. You just probably get the feeling that Western Australia got a bit more all-round ability with both ball and bat.
I'll tell you what, Bill, over the years, they've made the Vicks look pretty ordinary. Played 19 and you've only won 3 against them, so as far as history is concerned, you've got a bit of a problem.
You should be well aware, Tony, that records are made to be broken. Coulson comes in. Don't worry about the past, just worry about the present and the future. And Coulson here is under a bit of pressure by Nobes and Siddons. He's been smashed for 35 in his 4th over. There's 1 for 35, the wicket of Webber. Paul Nobes, have a look at him there. He's thick set, he's very strong forearms and really likes to hammer the ball. No finesse, just tremendous power and good timing. There he goes, that's down the ground for 4. He moves around all over the place, gets that bat on ball, it races away. 50-run partnership in tremendous time by Siddons and Nobes. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. Beautifully played. The mid-on is in place there, and you watch him standing up there, and as Bill Laurie said, moving around all over the place. But that was lovely timing. Right off the meat of the bat, and it was into the gap and down to the fence in a flash.
Then again, he plays it like that, but he survives. He's all over the place, and Coulson got that one to hold its line. That's an excellent partnership when you're 2 for 5 to rattle on 52 or 48 balls. It's tremendous stuff. Big shout, maybe going down the leg side. It's 2 for 57. Welcome back to the WACA ground. A very windy day here in Perth. Relief after the high temperatures of late for the locals. Bruce Reid. Siddons drawing way to the leg side there, giving himself plenty of room, but this time's crowded up by Bruce Reid with a different angle.
Yes, it's windy, but it's a wind that's spoken with affection over here in the west. Obviously keeps things cool. The Fremantle doctor in the afternoon comes up, and of course it's a fantastic breeze for the sailors. A lot of fun to be had out on the Swan River, and I suppose all over the place down here. Lovely consistent breezes. And those of you in Western Australia who are watching this telecast, if you want to come down to the ground a little later on in the day, it's Meet the Players Day today. At the end of proceedings, the players will all congregate in that area that the young kids are in, all playing their cricket in at the moment. Down at extra cover as Reed is about to move into that area there. They'll be out there, the players, having a little bit of a barbecue, so bring the youngsters along and you'll be able to introduce them to some of the heroes.
It's a good move by the Western Australian Cricket Association. The Western Warriors, as they're called these days, and it's Bruce Reed back in the side, once again doing a good job. 5 overs, 1 for 18. Lovely state, and nice people in Western Australia, love their sport. And the pigeon fanciers over here as well, Tony. You wouldn't be interested in it, you're more a sailing man. Visit the odd winery or two.
Well, that Margaret River, beautiful down there.
That's over the top, that's well played. He went right to square. He won't get 4 this time, but Siddons chancing his eye here, doing a great job for his team.
Good solid arm there. Yes, they certainly are turning it on, these two. One very short and flayed away on the offside, and it just looks as if Moody's beginning to loosen up. They're maybe going to give him a go. He's standing at slip. This was very short.
That was a poor ball, it was far too short. No!
Yes, the fastest 50 is standing at 46 balls this year. Siddons may have that in the back of his mind. Well, there they are. Lehman on 46, and Wade Seckham is there on 46 as well. And there are 3 others, and Siddons actually already has made 50 and 50 balls, but he's got to be a candidate here.
No! 259. .59 after 11, South Australia. So the charge is on. 281 the target for victory. Maybe a change at the river end. Sean Carey to come into the attack. Right arm, fast medium. Tallish lad. He's bowling to 2 batsmen in form. Siddons and Nobes both on fire here. So he'll be tested. A good test for him. Replacing Coulson 5 overs. 1 for 39. Well, when you're chasing 280, you've got to get away to a good start. Well, South Australia didn't. They were 1 for 2 and 2 for 5. But this has been a good recovery.
Yes, just a little bit of a dip there back to the field, but while they stay up there, then that's fine. They don't lose any wickets for a while too. To help them at the end.
Very well bowled from the on Carey, just getting it on the line, not too short. Yes, it's quite windy here today. The wind, not the Fremantle Doctor, seems to be coming out of the southeast. The directions are correct. It's quite breezy and very pleasant. Swan River just at the back of us and across the scoreboard.
Yes, certainly out of the southeast. Have a look at those flags there as well. It's been quite strong right from the start of the day.
Great shot, beautiful pull shot, just a fraction short. That's a class act. He really smashed that full nose. That's 4.
Yes, I think he set himself for this one. It was short, and you watch this, really a bit of a jab, and he enjoyed it too. There it is, short and whack. He certainly has smashed that one, and it was 4 from the minute it left the bat.
Be handy in the forest with an axe, wouldn't he? Wow, he played it well. That was slower. Just worked down the 3rd man for single.
size of the gardens. No activity down there. It's just a little early for that. Let's see one or two wedding parties gathering down there later in the afternoon.
And struck down to long off, just a single. Siddons is one of those players that can carve up any attack when he gets a sider. He won't be technically correct. He'll hit over the infield. He'll draw away to the onside. But when you look at that current run rate, they're doing a great job.
Over.
6 runs off the over. It's 2 for 65. Now it's time to say goodbye to our viewers in Adelaide. South Australian with a real chance here at the WACA.
One of the problems left-handers have when they go around the wicket. They really do come in at an angle, and if you don't really stand up, bolt upright, you end up slinging the ball in. Not easy to do that straight away. Yes, he's got so much going for him. I must say, I was just a little surprised he wasn't given a trip to the West Indies just to break up that tack a little bit, to get a left-arm bowler into it.
It's just a bit above medium pace, I guess. Arms fairly low, it's a bit round armish. 24 wickets in this competition. Economy rate of 69. That's not bad when you can bowl on the final overs. It's best 3 for 25. If we played but straight to backward point, no run. Mike Balletta.
So just having a close look at Julian there, he really does seem to be falling over a bit. Let's see if we can slow him up here and have a good look at his action. As I said, it's a little bit difficult when he's round the wicket, certainly from the first ball.
Double misfield there, just concedes 1 run.
Just watch Julian here. It's, the problem, I think, is when he actually gets to the crease. You watch his arm here, and if he stays up or not. You see it right at this point, just falling down a little bit. And a lot of that's got to do with being around the wicket. You don't want to make any assessments on his action until he's back over the wicket.
This is a dangerous partnership, and as both the players are playing shots, they hit the ball over the infield. Both very good square of the wicket players, which is an advantage here in Perth with the extra bounce. So although Western Australia would be still favourites, this is an excellent partnership. It's going to run a ball almost, and just breaking up the line of the bowlers. Oh, French cut, going all the way for 4. 6 runs off the over. It's 2 for 71.
Fuck me.
2 for 71 after 13. South Australia, that's what they need to do. It's well bowled. Here, just keeping the ball up to Nobes. Watch Nobes' foot. We've had a look at the bowlers. Just watch Paul Nobes move around in the crease, but he never takes his eye off the ball. Textbook player at all, but he's very dangerous. He just tries to break up the length of the bowlers. He likes it short. He likes to pull or cut. And he moves around, and it's very, very dangerous.
Yes, Kerry better not drop anything short to him either.
No.
He's already pulled one like a rocket to mid-wicket. If he keeps it there, just short of a length and round about off stump, that very strong offside field he's got, then he'll be okay. But Nobes is looking for the short one.
Walks around all over the place, but he does keep his head fairly still and watches the ball. Slip the gully in, point, cover mid off on the offside, the third man. One side of mid on, square leg and a deep fine leg. Yep. Andrews can bowl left arm orthodox spin. Jamie Stewart, the left-hander, is 12th man for Western Australia, and they may have wished they'd had a spinner in this situation. Just a change of tempo, the ball not coming onto the bat. Damien Martin can bowl slow medium. Moody certainly will bowl. I guess Siddons is in two minds here. Will I keep going? I'll keep hitting over the top, or now that we've got the run rate up, will we bat normally? That's the question he'll be asking himself at the 14 over stage. Probably one of them can afford to keep going. Just try and get the run rate up at 6 or 7 and take the pressure off the middle and low order. And there's your answer. It's hammered down through the offside. Great save, superb, desperate stuff. Chance for a run out now. That's the Australia's wide. That's brilliant work at long off.
There's Lavender, the man down there. It really was a fabulous effort. Watch him here, full length dive, and got his hands to it, dragged it back, stayed right on it, and then as quickly as he could got up and threw it in. Just a little wide on the throw, but that was a very good stop.
Beautiful shot, beats mid on. Run rate still stays at 6 off that over. It's 2 for 77. Good match in progress here in the qualifying final of the Mercantile Mutual Cup. South Australia 2 for 77 after 14. It's into the gap. Beautiful batting pitch this. The players playing their shots with confidence. Under 19 youth tour by India, the first international Australia versus India at Mount Gambier. Day 1, Australia at stumps 9 for 292, so good fight back by India there. It's the 1 century, a couple of 50s. So going to be a very good series. 4-day match. Well, he's clogged that and hit it straight to the man. I hit him on the knee. That Siddons there really launched into that one. It was Bruce Reid. Not much flesh there, all bone.
Yes, he doesn't want to hit one too hard on those legs of Bruce Reid. And you can see that he's hit him straight on the knee, has it? Yes, he certainly has swiped it away. Look at him now. He goes down. I think it might have gone through his hands and whack on the end of the knee.
Down to the man, long off, it's fraction wide of him. They'll pick up 2. If they didn't, just the single. It's unbelievable.
Yes, Nobes deciding against that. Siddons a little unhappy that they didn't get 2. Really very comfortable 2 there, surely. And once again, a little chat between Damien Martin and Julian here. Just a little bit of a talk about possible field change.
Just can't understand why he didn't start over the wicket. I know Reid eventually went around the wicket because Siddons and Nobes were hitting through the offside, but doesn't nullify the angle and the advantage the left-arm bowler can have to a right-handed batsman. Just trying to crowd him up all the time and keep the ball at middle and leg. Rash, that's 4 ball over the top. Nobes like a butcher, just carving him up at the moment. Great stuff.
Yes, he certainly hit this one as well. Anything that's up there, and this one gave him a bit of width as well. And it really did fly. Just have a look at it. He smashes it in the air, straight over the top of Gully's head, and 4 all the way. Oh, this is starting to get very dangerous from the Western Australians' point of view. 2 down for 83, and these 2 now. Siddons on 38, and Nobes has gone past him. He's got 42.
Yeah, ball called as well. And 2 extra runs to Western Australia. This is a good effort by Nobes, and Siddons are 2 for 5. They attacked. They've taken initiative away from Western Australia. Still a long way to go, but you certainly feel that the South Australians, they're building with confidence with every delivery, and Siddons now batting a bit more normally, trying to hit the ball into the arc, whereas Nobes will keep going with his slasher square of the wicket. Any change of pace from the Western Australian bowlers. There's been one pace, a little bit of outswing, but very little change of pace. Not a lot of variation.
Yes, and it really is a very important aspect of bowling in one-day matches, in limited over matches. That slower ball, especially when sort of partnership develops like the one that's developing out there, you really have to have a little bit of variation.
There's a man out there, but it's short. Didn't quite time it. Siddons got a leading edge, just the single. 11 off the over, 2 for 88. In overs, it's actually 2 for 87. It was 1 short in the previous over. We'll catch that up in a moment. Computer. Western Australia at the same stage for 1 for 69. Siddons on strike to Carey. Full pitch, and he's clouded that down the ground. That's 4. That was a really horizontal slash at that, and it went like a rocket. Siddons charging the bowler. Great stuff here at the WACA. Great challenge.
Well, he's faced 37 balls now. And he's on 43, so he could well score the fastest 50 here.
I'll get 2 more, and that's worth $5,000 too, the fastest 50 in this competition. He really has got his feet moving. Siddons got a great eye, always has had, Siddons.
So he's got to, he's faced 38 balls, and he's got to score the 50 in 45.
Safe, it'll be just a single. Moody in the deep. This is a great exhibition of hitting here. When you set 280 off 50 overs, you cannot muck around. But when you're 2 for 5, they could have sat back on the splice, but they didn't. They've attacked Siddons and Nobes, and it's a very good partnership. Very good to watch, and really throwing the challenge down to the Western Australian attack.
Yes, so Siddons is down at the non-striker's end. He's faced 39 balls, has 46, so just 4 to get. And he could do that in 1 hit, the way he's playing at the moment, in which case he'll get to 50 quicker than anyone else has got there by quite a long way.
Well bowled. Action slower and straight.
Yes, last summer Stuart Law scored the quickest 50. He did it in 32 balls. And Wayne Holsworth just missed out. He scored 49 off 18 balls.
Seven runs off the over. They're on target. It's 2 for 94. It's a wonderful score after 17 overs. South Australia 2 for 94 as Bruce Yardley and Richie Beno take up the commentary.
Just the time to come in. 6 runs needed for the 100, and it has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant to watch for not a vast crowd here at the WACA, but reasonable one. Television watchers around the country as well. The fielder's going everywhere for it. Oh, it's well caught. Good catch, nicely judged. The skipper, Damien Martin, has got it. He's used the method of judging where it's going to finish up, turned and raced for that spot, and then looked up, and he was absolutely spot on.
It was a wonderful catch from the skipper. Well bowled by Julian. He's cramped him there, coming around the wicket. Didn't give him the room he wanted to hit over cover. And that's a wonderfully judged catch. Not an easy catch. He knew that Andrews was coming in from long off. It's ecstatic. It was the break they needed. After 2 for 5, we gave them no chance. It was a wonderful partnership. Siddons is on his way. It's 3 for 94.
New batsman James Brayshaw, he's got something to follow here. Paul Nobes is on 43, and Jamie Siddons made 46 in quick time before he was out caught from the first ball of the over.
Yeah, he gave it a dash. It looked like he was turning this game around for South Australia, but that's a very well judged catch by Damien Martin. Static. Made a great 100 today, Damien Martin.
That's where Martin started back for the spot, then turned around, and suddenly the ball was there. It was beautiful judgment. Century and a catch, and a bit of livening up of the team as well. Quite know what the clenched fist means. You're going to punch someone. That's well placed. There's a fielder out there at deep cover. They'll pick up 2.
He's raced to 45, Nobes, and he's surprised me a little today. I've seen him make runs when he has made runs in a hurry. It's generally off short pitch bowling. He's struggled to put away the full pitch deliveries, but he's driven the ball well today also. Nothing pretty about his style, but very effective. Unusual for the left-handed bowler bowling to a right-handed batsman to come around the wicket right from the start. Usually a left-arm bowler will come over the wicket and try and angle away from the batsman, but they're trying to cramp them for room, tie them up. They still need another 185, South Australia, off 33.1 overs, a run rate of 5.57, and the current run rate is 5.7. They've still got 7 wickets in hand, you never know.
Let's get a single there. That'll be 3 for 97. Seventeen overs gone here at the WACA. South Australia 3 for 97. And give you an idea of the magnitude of the task they're facing. They've scored those 97 off 17 overs, and they still need just under 6 runs and over to win the match. So the asking target is 281. Wonderful innings from Western Australia, 4 for 280. Damien Martin shaped the innings quite beautifully.
That's how Western Australia did it. 4 for 280 from their 50 overs. Lavender 80, Valletta 16. Damien Martin 114 from 112 deliveries. Justin Langer 24. Tom Moody and Adam Gilchrist did the job at the end. And with 280 on the board and chasing 281, South Australia, and having been 2 for 5 in the first couple of overs, we thought, well, it's all over. And that fabulous partnership of 89 between Siddons and Nobes, where they just decided they weren't going to pussyfoot around. And it stuck in, gave themselves some room, whacked the ball over the covers. And that's a lovely drive through extra cover for 4.
Well, a half century for Paul Nobes, and he is quite a dynamic's just about the word. Well, he's a burly dynamic. But, he really gives it a touch along when he's in form. Ian Chappell and others were mentioning that he's very good square of the wicket, but he has shown quite an all-round game today. 58 balls.
It's pretty tough when you bowl to a bloke like Paul Nobes, because he just stands and delivers. He wanders around the crease a little bit. You can see from his graph here that he's scored them all around the wicket. Not so much square today. He's hit quite a bit down the ground, which is unusual for him. Terrific 50 so far from 59 balls. Mind you, he's had to learn to hit them down the ground, because they've learnt, I think, the West Australians, they cannot afford to bowl short. I think they've bowled a couple of long hops today and they've been put away before. A pull through mid-wicket and a square drive, square cut. And there's a South Australian 100 from 106 balls, a run rate of 5.77.
There's a man straight down the ground, 3 for 102. Three for 102, 18 overs gone. Brendan Julian is the man bowling. Nobes will take strike. All sorts of things on offer in these Mercantile Mutual Cup games. 2 signs attached to the sight screen. And if you hit one of those on the full today, you get $160,000. 2 Mercantile Mutual signs, and here's Julian. Good shot. There's a man out at deep square, so they'll just get the 2 runs. There's 160,000, and Damien Martin was just about within a whisker of it today.
Yeah, we reckon he aimed for it. He could have, he probably would have normally hit that over cover. It was wide enough, but he dragged it across with a flat bat, and it just faded and curved away at the last moment. It was a tremendous effort. And generally with all of these sides, any of the money that's won is shared by everybody. And we were just wondering if someone does hit it and pick up 160,000, whether they do just take off with it. Forget about their mates.
It's not a motor car, it's only money.
Be tempting, wouldn't it? No, I couldn't see Damien Martin doing something like that. Still pick up about 13 grand, I think.
Yes, it's a very big prize on offer from Mercantile Mutual in this competition. Also a prize for anyone taking a catch over the boundary, but a major one, that 160,000 bucks for one of those signs, and Damien Martin's the closest we've seen this summer. He's hitting into the breeze. Oh, nice acting too.
It was a wide. Just walks across the crease here. Oh, how could I have reached that? He's actually hit over the top of it. A bit late. But if you bowl that wide in these one-day games, you've got to be called. The name of the game is to attack the stumps, and the best thing they can do here to these guys when they're trying to give themselves a little bit of room. Now they've lost momentum just a fraction with the dismissal of Siddons. And James Brayshaw hasn't had a great summer with the bat in the one-day games. He's scored 4 centuries. He's averaging 80 in Shield cricket. They need 176, a run rate of 5.61. It's not impossible. And I need a big one from this man, James Brayshaw, I feel, with Paul Nobes.
That's a good shot. Fast outfield, and it really will require some quick moving out there to cut that off. Managed it, and they get 3.
Tom Newton's got the arm back. He struggled with it for a season or so. He's always been known to have this rocket arm from the outfield. It's a big throw, this. It'd be getting pretty close to 100 metres out there, the keeper's end. So the South Australians have taken notice of that. The big man's arm is back. James Brayshaw is getting a hit. And Brendan Julian coming over the wicket. We have Tom Moody, 41 matches for 13 catches. Affected a few run-outs, I can tell you. That big arm of his from the outfield.
Three for 108. Beautiful out there on the Swan River, just at the back of this ground. Quite a stiff breeze out on the water this afternoon here at the WACA, or just nearby. The cyclone hit the city just 2 days ago, and chance of some more indifferent weather over the next few days to come.
Well, he's going to try and get Nobes on strike, James Brayshaw. It's not his game, this swinging, this wild swing. He's a stroke maker. And, it's not going to really suit him, this situation. So what he's got to do is try and push the singles and get the other man on strike. Keep rotating the strike. There's the comparisons. You can see South Australia just a little ahead in the run rate. They lost those 2 early wickets, and then with the dismissal of Siddons, it's taken a little dive coming back towards the Western Australians' run rate. Hasn't done a bad job, Sean Carey. Came on after the other guys took a hammering. There's James Brayshaw. Hasn't made many at all in the one-day games. His one-day domestic career. He's made 1 century. He's played 20 matches. He only made 314 runs, strike rate of 63. If you like to have a look at his other 19 matches, he's only made 213 runs.
Three from that over, 3 for 111. For Nobes, Brayshaw is 1. Julian the bowler. That's as neat as you can find for 4 runs. Bruce, reports from the East when Brendan Julian was over there bowling said that he could well be classed as the fastest in Australia at the moment. Came from Queensland. And West Australian players concurred, and all the talk was that he was the new express bowler. What's been happening with him?
Well, he likes to bowl down breeze, and he wants to bowl fast. He's bowling into a slight sour. Well, that's a fairly strong sou'easter at the moment, and he's not bowling all that sharp today, but he can bowl quick. It's all about rhythm, I think, with Brendan. And I know that Alan Border rates him highly. He just seems to knock over AB whenever he bowls to him. I think maybe he just lifts a peg, plays against some of these great players. But disastrous time for him, mid-season last year to mid-season this year. He'd only taken, I think, 14 wickets in his last 15 innings. And then all of a sudden he took 5 for, and then he was on his way. But not a strike bowler in these one-day games. Not doing a bad job.
He's coming over the wicket for Brayshaw. Wide for that.
Going to happen sometimes. You've got to change your bowling action a fraction when you come over the wicket. He's basically bowled around the wicket today.
A lot of people write in to say, why don't we show you more graphs and drawings and different things to do with batsmen, bowlers, fielders. Well, that's the one of James Brayshaw. He's played just 1 big innings in Mercantile Mutual Cup games. That's the one in red, and the others, they're 2 stories, whereas the big one's the skyscraper.
Yeah, I guess it's tough for James Brayshaw coming in the situation. Where his skipper just gave himself some room and just blazed away, threw the bat at everything. Fabulous partnership. And you've got to sort of carry it on, and possibly not seeing the ball all that well at the moment. Scratch around a little bit. Mark Lavender was the same when he came into bat today. Struggled early and then made a wonderful 80.
The thing Brayshaw has to do while he's got Nobes with him is score from every ball. He's got to get either pad or bat onto it. so that by the time he's made 20, he's only faced 20 deliveries. Apart from that 1 century we just showed you, he has been struggling a bit, but that's what he needs to do in this situation. If he's not totally suited to it, then he just has to give the strike to someone who is. It's 3 for 120. Brayshaw has made 3, Nove 64. Brayshaw has strike. Tom Moody has come on in place of Sean Carey, who had 27 knocked off 3. Coulson from this causeway end had 39 taken from 5.
He's on the attack, Damien Martin. Only 3 men outside the fielding circle. As Moody comes on, he's got some faith in him. He's a hard man to get away, Tom Moody. He comes down from a great height, well over 200 centimetres tall. Gets that arm up nice and high, comes down, hits the seam all the time, tries to bowl a few leg cutters. Seen him bowling more outswingers this year than I have previously. So pretty handy guy to come on as your 5th bowler, Big Tom. Taken 37 wickets in his one-day domestic career from 41 matches. Best of 3 for 16. Connie Rose 67.7. That's not too bad.
It's a good example of what Bruce Yardley was talking about. Extra bounce coming down from a great height over 200 centimetres.
An amazing bit of cricket this, isn't it? He's walked at him, Paul Nobes. As he said, he's not a pretty player, but he watches the ball like a hawk and knows how to get bat on the ball.
Yep.
Yes, Big Tom Moody's got the ability to change his pace pretty well, because he rolls his fingers over the seam to bowl leg cutters, and occasionally when you do that, it just naturally comes out a bit slower. Fairly attacking field.
Yep.
Well, if they do that every ball from here on in, get a single off every ball for the rest of things, they'll win the match. Pretty consistent, that economy rate. That's what's important as far as Tom Moody's concerned and the team.
Beaten that over, 3 for 123. For 123. The lights won't be needed here at the WACA today. Day game. We do play night matches here at different times, and a spectacular thing it is too. Ratio 5 and Nove 65 into the 23rd over now.
they're pretty well on track, the South Australians, as long as they don't lose any more wickets for a while. Into the 23rd over, they're now 123, so 140 is the halfway mark. And they're keeping up with the required run rate. Very interesting stage. The scene was set, the partnership of 89 between Siddons and Nobes.
You're the only man who can solve this for me, Roo. Can't see either the letters WA or the words Western Australia on that board. Is it my aging eyes?
No, it's not. The Warriors are up at the top on the left-hand corner. They're called the Western Warriors. I've always played for Western Australia myself, and I still like the name Western Australia. But it's a marketing ploy. And I know the WACA wants everybody to know the players, the team as being the Warriors, the Western Warriors. So there you go.
Wouldn't have the same impact whenever I used to come over here to play against WA. There'd always be some guy poking me in the chest, saying, I'm a West Australian, we're going to thrash you Blues out of sight.
And that's the reason for it. Merchandise. Yes, I feel probably the WACA here figure that it's about time they started competing for the merchandising dollar. The American games, baseball and basketball, seem to be doing fairly well as far as that's concerned. They don't rate stage anywhere near cricket as far as television ratings are concerned. Players are looking for more money from the game.
Western Australia 4 for 280 in their innings. Brilliant century from Damien Martin. Lovely knock from Mark Lavender, who made 80. Common sense batting at the end from Gilchrist, who stayed with Martin, and good partnership at the end. There's a couple there. That's placed nicely. It'll be cut off. But they will get 2 for it, and it's 3 for 126. For 126, and there is WA, and here is A.W. Gregg, and alongside him I.M. Chappell.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with the Warriors and the Bulls. I know Bill Laurie's he's into that old-fashioned stuff. He wants to stay Victoria. How'd you go, Ian? Where are you coming from?
I came from the SACA. South Australia were pretty generally known as the SACA. I did notice, I think earlier in the year, that they had in one of the papers in Melbourne, they had a coupon which you could fill in and send in your slogan to give Victoria a new name. We had a perfectly good slogan in the South Australian side, which I was quite happy to send in on a coupon. I'm perhaps not quite so keen to mention it on air, though.
That was that one which went something like 246.
Yes, we were taught to count the school I went to, Tony, especially the even numbers. I'm sure all the Victorian players were aware of it because we used to sat quite regularly in front of them.
Yes, and of course earlier this year we had the competition for the Australia A team. They were always called the Australia A team, and they had this competition to try and find a name for them. They got hundreds of thousands of responses, and they stayed Australia A, although they were called the Cockatoos by some folks. South Australia, 3 down for 127. The gap, but that sweeper's there covering that area. They'll be looking for 2, but don't think that Nobes will go for the second one there. The Nobes on 67 now, Brayshaw on 7.
You said you're happy with the Warriors or the Bulls. How do you go with the change from the Springboks to the Proteas? Did you enjoy that?
Didn't enjoy that at all. No, didn't like that. I'm not big on the flowers, but I don't sort of come to associate South African rugby players with flowers.
I think the probably the important thing with all of those nicknames is that it does relate to something from that state, or as in South Africa, that country with Springboks. I mean, it did. It did relate, like the Kangaroos with the Australian Rugby League team, Wallabies with the Rugby Union team. You immediately associate it with Australia, and you certainly associated Springbok with South Africa, and I think in those cases they're good.
Runs off the inside edge down to fine leg. Yes, the only problem with the South African one was that it had connotations of yesteryear, the apartheid regime, and I think that's probably the reason why they got rid of that one. And so that's gone to Protea, which is also synonymous with South Africa. It's the native flower there. So everyone seems to be pretty happy with it.
They didn't segregate the animals as well over there, did they, Greggy?
If they did, I don't think the animals knew about it. Down the leg side. From around the wicket, hit a batsman on the pad. If it's on the stumps, it's definitely going to go down the leg side.
Yes, with that angle coming around the wicket, ball sliding down leg side. Just looking at this Western Australian attack, actually you'd appreciate this, Greggy. There's with the height of this Western Australian attack, you've got Julian, must be getting up around the 200 centimetre mark. Probably a touch under 200, Brendan Julian. Certainly Bruce Reid is above 200 centimetres. Just looking at Sean Carey, he looked to be up around that mark. Tom Moody's certainly just a touch over 200 centimetres. It's probably one of the tallest attacks in the world.
They certainly are. One of the problems, of course, they all have is getting gear to fit them. This gear is not a problem because it's all made to measure. I suspect they'll all be shopping in Melbourne. They've got a great shop there that fits out tall men. All probably size 12 boots as well. The great frustrations of men that are around about 2 metres. One down the leg side as well. 4 runs from the over, 3 for 131. Gloucester Park trotting track, just across the road from the WACA. There's the track itself and the Swan River in the background. One more to Nobes into the gap on the offside. Yes, the ground here is surrounded by water. The Swan River runs around the ground. Quite a lot of parking quite close to the ground here, and of course quite a lot of park land as well. And that's looking up towards the city.
Brayshaw just giving Tom Moody the charge there as we look across to the city. A couple of kilometres to the central business district. Perhaps not even that far. It's just that we get here very quickly in the morning with Greggy driving. He does slow down just as he gets near the WACA though, because the police building is out the back. That's it, the police building.
It's well fielded, but it's not going to really make too much difference. There was a man covering behind, but the letter going full length and stopping that one in that hand of his that was strapped.
This would be a bit hard, or harder to throw, I would think, with the fingers strapped there together. Just couldn't quite get the same grip on the ball, and it makes it difficult to get the power in the throw. Although you don't really want those two fingers that Michael Edder's got strapped, you don't want them on the ball when you're making a throw. That's a very good Yorker from Tom Moody.
He's hit that one over the top of mid-wicket's head again, and it's running away down towards the boundary. Be cut off down there though. And the throw, get it to the keeper, which he did, but the batsman safely home. 5 runs of that over, 3 for 136. Has been a very good innings by Paul Nobes, 84 balls for his 72, and Brayshaw out there with him at the moment. Subservient by comparison, but that's fine, he's not been there for long. And, there's the comparison as well after 26 overs. They went on to score 280, that's a lot of runs, and the problem South Australia have now got is that they've lost 3 wickets.